Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show and podcast. We're live Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern on Talk 4 TV, w4wn.com, and my YouTube channel. And I'd like to welcome you all. And today, we are going to continue to talk about understanding sabotaging behaviors. Join me, Nanci Deutsch, to understand yours and others' unhealthy behaviors. Learn why you and another have habitual patterns like procrastination, unhealthy eating habits, poor impulse control, negative rumination, smoking, vaping, nail biting, over shopping, and other self-sabotaging behaviors or distressing behaviors. Discover the ways to heal these patterns so that you can live an inspired and empowered life. I'm your host, Nanci Deutsch, licensed clinical social worker and certified hypnotherapist, and I combine my counseling, coaching, and intuitive abilities to help you inspire and empower you to transform your life. Together, let's create a life you love. And this show is not a replacement for therapy or counseling. It is for educational purposes only. Again, we're live on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. And you can also find the podcast on iHeart, Spotify, Pandora, and Apple. So the first thing I want to do, and we got Allie in the house. Good morning, Allie. She's saying, good morning, Nanci. And I say that back. So what I want to do is I want to talk about the last week. We had a lot of questions coming in, and I wanted to continue with the questions before I get into this week's show. So one of the questions that we started actually talking about these self-sabotaging behaviors can be really addictive. And how do you know when it becomes an addictive behavior? And the way that you know is when that need for it is like you can feel this craving and need. And you feel like if you don't get that craving satisfied, something will be wrong, or you'll be in a negative mood, or there's this energy where that energy of that self-sabotaging behavior becomes an addictive energy. And so really, I also talked about, so somebody asked, how can we recognize the patterns? Because here's the thing, and we talked about this in last show, is that you cannot change anything if you don't recognize it. If you are not conscious and aware of it, you're not going to be able to change it. So the first step is that conscious awareness and recognition. And so I also want you to know that last week's show I talked about, it came to me while I was on the show to create a scale of willingness, or where you are on the scale. And I created that this morning for all of you. And so know that we will get into that very shortly. And I also want to talk about my quick Psych 101, because I want us all to be on the same page. So even if you've heard this before, be open and allow yourself to be open to new insights and possibilities. So first, you have your conscious mind. Now, your conscious mind is the part of you that helps you become consciously aware of those behaviors. And so it's really an important part. And it is your conscious mind that makes the decision to want to change. And when you make that decision, it empowers you. So your conscious mind is really important to help you feel empowered. Your subconscious mind is that part of you from the moment you were conceived to present time that has recorded every moment that you have been alive, including in utero, in the womb. And it has recorded all the limiting beliefs, all the emotions. And your subconscious mind is where, when you have those self-sabotaging patterns, the reasons for those patterns, the behaviors, your thoughts, your behaviors, your emotions that are on habitual, you're just doing them. That's all living in your subconscious mind. So it's really important for you to understand what's going on in your subconscious mind in order to make the changes that you want. And then you have your superconscious mind. And your superconscious mind is a crucial part in helping you have the strength and the ability to make the changes that you want to make in your life. And your superconscious mind is the universe. It's your higher self, this wise, unconditionally loving part of you. And it's your soul. And it's your angels and guides and beings of light and loved ones that have passed. And all those aspects, all those parts are from that superconscious mind. And that brings the inspiration. And when you combine the inspiration and the empowerment, that's how you get inspired and empowered living. And that's what we're here to help you to do. So, somebody asked, how can we get in touch with the inner self? So, understanding those self-sabotaging behaviors, what's going on in your subconscious mind, it would be really important for you to understand and learn to connect with yourself on a daily basis, to see what it is you want, what it is you're feeling, what it is you're thinking. And here's the thing, okay? Really important. When I said what it is you're thinking, I don't mean that, I call it the mind chatter. Mind chatter. They're in Zen and mindfulness, they call it the monkey mind. It's that mind that goes into that, I call it spinning. When you're in thinking mode and you're just thinking. It's about learning how to come out of that place and make the deeper connection with yourself. And you can do that by journaling, by meditating, by praying, by even doing inspirational reading. It's finding your place in the morning. Now, one of the things that I love to do, I'll share mine with you. I get up in the morning and I realized how much of this is my happy place. It fills me up I get up in the morning and I put on YouTube and I put on music and the visuals of scenes from nature. And so I'm listening to the music and I'm watching the visuals and I'm drinking my tea and I'm just being present with myself. And sometimes I go into meditation, and sometimes I'm just being present to what I'm being guided. That's the intuitive part of me, just allowing the information. Sometimes I get guided to the card decks. And just to give you a little heads up, I'm going to be starting doing more cards and more info on cards on other social media. So be on the lookout for me on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook so that I can support you in a daily way. So getting in touch with your inner self is really important. And it's being able to tune in to that place where you give yourself time. Okay, so we got a question that came in. How can we quiet our minds to not spin out and relax? Okay, so the first thing that I do is I work on using my breath and coming into my body, feeling my feet grounding. And I will share a card that I got this morning because I feel like it's important. It was talking about the sequoia tree. Actually, let me see. It came from this deck, Messages from the Spirits of Nature Oracle, by Dr. Stephen D. Farmer. And it was talking about the sequoia tree. And the sequoia trees are out, I believe they're the redwoods, from what I remember, because there was a time where I drove up, I think it was 101, and you drive through where the redwoods are. And the redwoods are amazing. They're ancient and they're powerful. And it's interesting because when I do grounding with clients, I always have them go feel their feet and feel the roots coming out of their feet into the earth and going all the way down. So if you can imagine yourself as a tree, now you really want to breathe and using your breath. I've talked about belly breath and feeling that belly breath, that when you breathe in, your belly goes out. And when you breathe out, your belly goes in, and start doing that belly breath. The most important thing is working on coming out of your mind. And when you work with your body, when you feel your breath, when you feel your feet, you're actually becoming present, because when you are in your mind and you're in that spin energy and you can't relax, you're not in present time. You are actually in the past or the future. And so learning how to breathe and come into your body is an excellent way to really work on. And listen, it will take practice, but it is practice worth it. It's really worth practicing that breath and that coming into your body and connecting with yourself. Because when you do that, and when you feel more present, that's when you're able to really feel what it is you want. What is your truth? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? What are your intuitive knowing? When I'm in that quiet, happy place in the morning and I'm allowing my intuition, and I'm just going to tell you, I was thinking yesterday, what brings me joy? What makes me feel alive and happy to be on the planet and feel really great about being alive? And what it is connecting with my intuition and connecting with the magic and the miracles that happen when you're open and you allow. And so I was thinking about how I love, I'll give you an example of what happened. So I was going to meet a friend for dinner, and I was driving, and I'm like, what makes me happy? What feels good? And when I see numbers, repeating numbers, I feel their messages. In fact, there's been books written about that. Angel numbers, they're usually called. And so when I see 333, I feel like the ascended masters, the beings of light that are ascended, like Jesus and Mary and Kuan Yin and Saint Germain and all these other beings are around. And so I was like, I'm going to get to that restaurant at 6:33. So I parked my car, and it was like 6:32. And I look up, and I drove through, so that my car was facing towards other cars. I drove through, and there was the number 6333. And so to me, that was my message. We are here. We're around you. And then, okay, the waitress, all right, and this is stuff like you don't plan it. This is the magic and the miracles of the universe that makes life inspiring and empowering and exciting, and it brings the joy in. So the waitress has a necklace on, a necklace that is 444, which is another favorite angel number of mine, because 444 means all the angels and the archangels are around you. So I felt like the universe was saying, we're here, we're around you, we're surrounding you. And I'm sharing this story with you because I want you to know that they're around you too. So even if you feel bogged down by self-sabotaging behaviors or whatever's going on in this world, know that you have the power to open to the miracles and the magic of life. And I really want to share that with you. So really opening to that energy in the morning, in the evening, whenever you can during the day, will help you feel inspired and empowered. And that's what it's about. So I also wanted to share that. So how do you make the changes? Like, what do you do to make the changes so that you are letting go of those self-sabotaging patterns? So the first thing I talked about was being consciously aware. And last week's show, we talked about being willing. You have to be willing to let go of the behavior. Because if you are not willing, it ain't going to happen. And even if you don't know how to do it, it's okay. You just need to be willing. So I created that scale of willingness. And before I get to the scale, I just really want to share with you my meditation. And the meditation is able to help you come out of that spin energy and help you feel more grounded and help you connect with your intuition so that you can allow that magic and miracles of your life to happen. So my meditation, I call it the intuitive decision-making meditation. And if you go to inspiredandempoweredliving.com/meditation, MEDITION, inspiredandempoweredliving.com/ meditation. And that meditation can help you feel more grounded, more centered, more connected. I developed it because my guidance was wanting to support you to make better decisions and to get the help that you need to feel more grounded, to clear your energy, come out of your head, and really tune in. Tap into that intuition of yours. So go to inspiredandempoweredliving.com/meditation, meditation. So it's the name of the show, inspiredandempoweredliving.com/meditation. So I also want you to know that last week I did talk about that scale. And so I developed the scale for you. So I am going to share that scale with you now. So I call it the scale of willingness. So this scale is really here to help you discover where you are in the scale of willingness, where you are in the ability, your ability to let go of behavior. I also want you to know, Rebel posted the link to the meditation to make it really easy. If you're listening live on any of the channels, you can go to the link and just click the link to get the meditation. So definitely grab that meditation because I really feel like it can help support you. And so the scale of willingness, the first place is denial. You're not willing. You don't even know. You're not acknowledging. And this is not only for you, but also for other people you know. If someone is in denial, there is no way they are going to hear you to receive your support or even concern for them because they're in denial. And so what I'm going to support you to do, if someone you know and someone you love, including yourself, well, if it's yourself and you're in denial, hopefully other people are going to be praying for you, but you can pray for your loved ones. You can pray for your loved ones that they awaken, they come out of denial. You put them in God's hands or in light. Send them lots of light, put them in the angels' hands, and pray for their willingness to wake up and to be willing to let go of that self-sabotaging behavior. So the first thing is denial. They're not aware, or you're not aware, and there's really nothing that can happen until the next step. And the next step is becoming aware of the issue, but you're not willing to do anything about it. So, for example, you have a behavior, like let's say you love sweets. And you're coming out of the denial that sugar is not, you're eating too much sugar, but you love your sugar and you don't want to stop it. You're not going to stop it. You're not even going to cut down because you're not willing to change that behavior. So that's where that you're becoming aware that maybe sugar is not good for you, but you're not willing to change it. The next step is you're aware of the issue and you're beginning to start feeling you'd like to change. There's an ambivalence. You kind of want to, but you're not sure yet. So an ambivalence starts happening. You're ambivalent. And also, I want to invite any of you to ask any questions that you have about anything that I'm sharing right now. If you have any questions, let me know. And then the next step is there's a real conflict happening. There's a real conflict that happens where there is this part of you that really wants to let go of the behavior. And there's a part of you that really does not want to let go. And there's like major conflict happening. But I also want you to know in the scale, if you can see that each step, you're becoming more and more closer to willing to let it go. So then, again, taking the sugar example, you know you really want to stop sugar, or at least cut down on sugar a lot. And sugar is in a lot of things that we don't even realize it's in. And you either want to stop or lower it. And then there's a part of you that's like, nope, not going there. I want my sugar. I'm going to keep my sugar. Nothing's going to stop me from having my sugar. And then what happens? The next step is you start realizing that the issue that you're having, is becoming more and more uncomfortable. And you're beginning to say to yourself, I'm willing to let this go. Or even I'm willing to cut down. But I'm not sure how to do it or where to begin. And so you're opening, your energy of willingness starts to open. And I'm also going to support you that through this process, you can always pray for help. You can pray to that super conscious part of you for help and being able to move through these steps and getting the support that you need in order to be willing to let go of the behavior, the pattern. And then the next step is actually reaching out for help and being willing to let it go. And finally, it's letting it go. It's like you do what you need to do, and then all of a sudden you're able to let go. And I will tell you that this process can take years. It doesn't mean it's like boom, 1, 2, 3, poof. Like I was sharing last week, I was a smoker. I smoked cigarettes for many, many years. And I was aware they were not healthy. And this was back when it wasn't, it was starting to become unpopular, but it's not as unpopular as it today. And so I was doing all kinds of things in order to stop it, but I still couldn't stop it until finally I woke up. I talked about it last week, and I woke up on the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah, which is like the new year that's coming up. New beginnings for all of us. Because no matter what religion you are energetically, I feel like September has this energy of new beginnings. Like, for example, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I don't care. Labor Day. Think about it. Every time I think about Labor Day, I'm like, you know what? I'm using Labor Day as a way to intend to birth my new self. So how about you taking that time to birth your new self? And it may not be poof right after Labor Day. Maybe it's going to take time. But you can create the intention that you're birthing a new self. And then Rosh Hashanah. So I woke up on Rosh Hashanah, and this was years ago, back in the 90s. And all of a sudden, it was like, I'm done. No more. Quit, cold turkey. And I know we had somebody last week that said that they had a relative, family member that quit also. Know that it's possible. Whatever your self-sabotaging behavior, know it's possible. to let it go when you're ready. So I'm hoping that scale of willingness, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know how you feel about that scale. If it's been helpful for you, I would love to hear from you. You can post it on my YouTube channel. You can let me know. I really want to hear from you. So definitely let me know. And so really learning to bring these issues into awareness and making the decision. That's what I was talking about. The conscious mind is making the decision to be willing to change, to be willing to let it go. And even if you're not sure what step or steps you need to take, making that decision is the first step in being able to empower yourself to let go of that self-sabotaging behavior and know that you can do it. You all can do it. And so I am going to support you in remembering, yes, you can do it. And then it's really, again, making that decision and making that decision to heal. That you are willing to heal whatever it is you need to heal. And part of that will be feeling. Part of that will be understanding what's going on in your subconscious mind and learning to be able to tap into those limiting beliefs and emotions in your subconscious mind. Okay, so we have a question that came in. How much willpower would one need in this journey? Okay, so in the journey, when you are, willpower is important, okay, because that's you consciously making that decision when you get that craving and you begin to do, and also just know self-talk is really important. What are you saying to yourself? That's where the power of your will comes in. Now, I really want you to know that with your conscious mind and your superconscious mind aligned together, they can support your subconscious to create the changes and have the willpower to do it. So, for example, when you, let's say you really want to let go of a self-sabotaging pattern. Maybe it's cigarettes or some kind of smoking, vaping, or nail biting. And you really are willing to let it go. And you're working with your conscious mind and you're praying. You're praying, allowing that help from the superconscious mind. And also the superconscious mind is also called higher power in 12-step programs. It's called higher power. So whatever you choose to call it, whether you call it God or universe or light or higher power or whatever, know that energy is there to help you and support you, to support that place in you, that willpower, to give you that extra strength that you need to make the changes and to let go of that behavior. And I know in my heart that I wouldn't have been able to let go of that smoking if I didn't have that energy from, I'll get to the question in a sec. If I didn't have that ability, if I didn't have that support of superconscious mind, of God, higher power, universe. I know that it was there to support me. And I know, even if you don't believe it, I'm going to support you in borrowing my belief that when you ask for help from above, you're going to get the help. Now, your willpower and power of that higher part of you and God and higher power, whatever you want to call it, will help you to give you the willpower. But it's you that must keep making that decision. So willpower is very important. But here's the thing. This is really fascinating, because when you have healed the patterns for the needs and the reasons of the behavior, those cravings reduce, if not go away. And yes, you still need to keep making those conscious decisions, but that willpower is like increased manyfold. So with healing the subconscious mind and enlisting the superconscious mind so that you are in alignment, body, mind, emotion, spirit, there's an alignment of the three minds, your conscious, your subconscious, and your superconscious. It becomes easier to let go of a self-sabotaging pattern. Now, do you still need to make those decisions in those moments? Yes, you do. But you can be helped and supported every step of the way. And that's what I want you to know, is that you have the power within you to help yourself let go of the behaviors that are no longer serving you. And I support you in knowing you can do it. I really have faith in all of you. Just want you to know. Sending that energy out. And I really feel like when I'm doing the show, a lot of times I just allow the energy to flow. I just feel the words flowing. I love it. I love sharing. I love connecting with you. And I want you to know that those words, that knowing that you can do it, are coming from my heart, from my inner being to you, knowing, helping give you the strength, knowing that you have the strength within you to let go of any patterns and behaviors that you want to let go of. You're willing. See, you need to be willing. Okay, so let's get to the next question. How many stages of mind does a person have? So I'm not sure. There's many ways to define that, because you have the, okay, so what I'm going to ask you is, when you ask about stages of mind, are you talking about your conscious, your subconscious, and your superconscious? And does everybody have them? Yes. So the reason, what I do, and there's different levels and stages to each place, but what I do is everybody has this. Everyone. There's not a being on this planet that doesn't have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and a superconscious mind. So all of you have those parts. Okay, so Misty says yes. So know that I separate it out into those three parts. I want to simplify it, make it easy to understand, so that when I'm sharing and talking with you, it becomes really easy to have to know, to experience. So it's your conscious, your subconscious, and your superconscious. Make it easy. 3 stages, 3 parts, and every person has them. You may not realize that you've had them, but now that you are listening to the show, thank you for joining, because that's your conscious mind saying, I'm tuning in. So you have the power within you, that conscious mind empowers you to make the decisions to create the changes. Now, even if you are all the way up on the scale, anything out of denial, you can start asking for help, start praying, start doing anything that you want in order to move to the next stages. And the best way to do that is to ask for help from that higher power, universal mind, that energy that is, everyone has access to that energy. Now, for some of you, you may see or imagine a being on top of a hill and you call it God. That's fine. Or I know some of you still, you feel that Jesus is God. And some of you may feel that there's a energy, a light source that's just energy. And it's not just, it is energy, and energy here to support. So whatever you choose to feel or think or know about something greater than yourself, anything greater than yourself, beyond that personality self, is what and who you can ask. Now, if you're connected with certain beings, like archangels, like Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael is actually a good angel to ask for help with letting go of self-sabotaging behaviors, because Archangel Raphael is the archangel of healing. So if you want more healing and you want more help and support, you can call upon Archangel Raphael. You can also call upon Archangel Michael, who can help you let go of negative behaviors and patterns and thoughts. So their archangels are there for the asking. What I really, really want you all to know is that you have the power to ask, and that you could never ask too much, and that the higher aspects of you, your higher self, your soul, the universe, your angels, guides, beings of light, loved ones on the other side, all of those energies are there for the asking, and you deserve to ask for help. And you can never ask too much, because that energy is here to support you, to love you, to guide you. And because we have free will, we need to ask for their help and support. They really can't intervene in our lives if we're not asking for that help and support. So I really want to support you all to ask for help. So definitely want to support you. So really, those self-sabotaging patterns, you become consciously aware, and then you're clearing the energy. You want to find ways to clear those subconscious patterns. So when I'm working with clients, I use hypnosis. I use neurolinguistics programming. I use emotional freedom technique. I use a lot of different energies, body-centered work, to help people understand, my clients to understand how to let go of those limiting patterns, limiting beliefs and feelings. Because most of the time, you can't let go of something that you don't know exists. Now, I say most of the time because I do believe in prayer, and things can be lifted from us. And I also want to support you in remembering self-discovery and self-awareness is really powerful and important for your ability to change and create your inspired and empowered life. the more self-awareness, the more self-discovery that you're on. I really want to acknowledge you for being here, for joining me on the show. Let people know, share the info and let people know, because I really want to help you and your loved ones and the people you know to make a difference on this planet. And you start by really just being willing to discover what's going on within yourself, understanding yourself more. So I really want to acknowledge all of you for that. And I want to thank you. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate you being here. And we're going to continue next week with more inspired and empowered living. And so remember, today we talked about that scale of willingness, talked about the 3 minds, talked about the ability for you to really use your willpower, that self-talk, and combining it with the superconscious mind so that you can let go of those behaviors that no longer serve you, that you're willing to let go of, and you can have help in doing so. And so, thank you for being here. And tune in next week for more inspired and empowered living. We're live Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, and my YouTube channel. And you can also find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Apple, and many more. So I'm wishing you all an inspired and empowered day and an inspired and empowered week. Have a great one, everybody. Bye for now.